Salut tout le monde, mais j'espère que vous allez bien. Aujourd'hui, on se retrouve pour une nouvelle interview et pas des moindres puisqu'on va accueillir une ambassadrice PlayStation, une ambassadrice de Norvège. Donc l'interview va se faire intégralement en anglais. J'espère que les sous-titres fonctionneront correctement. En tout cas, j'espère que vous apprécierez cette découverte. En tout cas, j'ai pris un vrai plaisir à pouvoir l'interviewer. Je vous laisse découvrir Kadust, qui est son pseudonyme. Bon visionnage. Hi Kadust, nice to meet you. And how are you?
It's very nice to meet you as well. I'm doing good, thank you. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. I'm very happy to know you. I follow you since maybe few months or few years on Instagram, and
Wow.
one day I said, one day I want to interview and to ask some questions to her, and I'm really happy this day is coming.
I'm excited as well. It's gonna be fun.
So my first question is pretty simple. I want to know who you are and if you can present you to my community and my followers.
Okay, so I go by Kadust on internet, but my real name is Isabel. So my friends usually call me Isa for short. I'm from Norway and I'm a PlayStation ambassador. So that's like my online persona, kind of.
Okay.
But when I'm not on Instagram, I work as a software developer.
Okay. And you work as a video games developer or just a software for application or
Yeah, just
company?
software and applications. Yeah,
Okay.
game development is like a different genre.
Okay. So you work with Java, PHP, or .NET?
Java mostly.
Okay, I'm a whole developer, a web developer, so I knew some
Oh.
language. I work in JavaScript, PHP, .NET, and more.
Yeah, I haven't used PHP since I was a student first year.
It's your first job?
Um, no, I used to work as we call it a helper nurse when you work as a nurse but you don't have like the education background for it. So I have some medical courses, so like I'm I can uh, I can provide medicine and stuff like that, injections, but I don't like it. So that's why I started studying for computer development instead.
Okay,
Yeah.
and
So I actually have a master's degree in bioinformatics, which is an
okay,
interdisciplinary between biology and computer science.
so maybe you can find job in a quantum computing, no? Maybe one
Yeah.
day.
What maybe one day, yeah. Well, bioinformatics usually work or study how to cure illness with tech.
Okay, you work
Yeah.
only on software on some implication like virtual reality or something else, or just software.
Just software.
Okay, okay,
Mhm.
nice. And how is life and gaming in Norway? Do you want how you live your passion of video games in Norway?
Well, Norway is pretty, I think, very decent when it comes to having a proper work and life balance.
Okay.
It's actually quite important. Like when we have these yearly checkups at work, when they ask you how you're doing and stuff like that, they also always ask, how is your work-life balance? And is there anything that we can do to improve it? So it's actually important for Norwegians. So much is ingrained in our work culture. So it's it's I mean it's really nice to just have this 8 hour work days and then you can just relax with games afterwards if you're too tired to do something else.
And have you find the balance between your work and your video games passion, um, or moment?
Yeah, I have a decent balance right now. But sometimes, like when it's nearing releases or something at work, I usually have to work overtime. That is like the downside of being a developer.
Yeah.
Sometimes there will be night deployments and stuff like that. But overall, I can't complain.
Okay, okay. And where did your passion of video games come from? Is your parents, your brother, maybe your sister, or
Yeah, my big brother.
okay?
So, when I was little, I have a smaller sister. I have two smaller sisters. So my dad would, because my parents split up when I was 3. So my dad would be like, Joachim, my brother, can you just look after her while I change the diapers or do whatever with my younger sisters? So my brother would just hand me a controller. And eventually I found out that the controller he gave me didn't work. It wasn't actually plugged into the game. So I was like, give me your controller. And that's pretty much how it started. I also used to sit on his lap because he's 7 years older than me. So I used to sit on his lap when he was gaming horror games on PC.
What's your brother? He give you a controller to play a horror game on PC?
Yeah. The first game he introduced me to was Sonic the Hedgehog. So that
Okay.
was
It's not a
pretty
horror game.
yeah, not too bad. And then it was like Tekken and Gran Turismo. But when he was playing PC, it was usually the fear games.
Okay.
And whenever he went to the toilet, I was like, I'm gonna try. But I was so young.
And you continue yourselves to play horror game and more after we are alone, or you wait your big brother to play with him?
My big brother just lived with us like half of the time. So I did play when he wasn't there as well. I was like practicing Tekken so that I could beat him. But also it was pretty common actually among the girls when I were in the street where I grew up. All of the girls had consoles like Nintendo or PlayStation, while the boys were outside playing. The girls were inside gaming.
Okay, nice.
So that's what it was like where I grew up.
It's cool because I think in France it's really not the same thing. Boys
No.
play video games. When I was child, boys play video games. Girls plays with other girls, and or maybe with babies, or um, I don't know the word, but it's not the same mentality. In France, playing video games when I was child or teenager, it was it's a nerd. It's not a good friends.
Yeah.
It's not in my group. The beautiful boys here. He play football. He play basketball, handball, and etc. And video games, I think in France is more democratic in maybe 2015, 2016, after and
Yeah.
but I think when a problem come in France, the first thing politics says is a fault of video games, and
Of course.
I don't know if in Norway it's the same thing, but I'm happy to hear in Norway girl and boys plays video games while is a child.
Yeah. It wasn't looked down on when we were in elementary school, but like when we turn into teenage years and like, all of that teenage drama stuff, then video games became like a taboo and it was
Okay.
like for the nerds. But as children, everyone wanted to play video games, and I just remember people like, "Oh, you got the new Nintendo 64! Like, let's run home to you after school and play it."
And what's your
So,
first console?
Sega Mega Drive
Okay.
was the very first, but we didn't have it that long. I mean, we probably had it for a few years, but I was too young to properly remember it. So I only remember Sonic the Hedgehog from that console. And after that, we got a PlayStation 1 at my dad's, but we also had a Nintendo, like the regular entertainment system, the first one.
Okay.
So I remember playing a lot of Super Mario on that one.
And you
Super
play.
Mario was the only game we had for that one.
It was your first console to you and or a family console?
Family console.
Okay.
My first console was probably the PS4 because that is the first one I bought for my
Okay.
own, yeah, for myself.
Okay, when you have your job and your own flat, or maybe you
Yeah,
are alone.
but I did have a gaming PC when I was a teenager because I was big deep into World of Warcraft, and my
Yeah.
mom, she just let me play because she was like, okay, at least she's not out drinking. She's just sitting in a room playing video games. I'm okay with that.
And when you are
My dad, however,
when you was a teenager, you have find a decent balance between video games and schools, or World of Warcraft was the first meaning, first thinking you have.
oh, World of Warcraft was on my mind all the time when I was a teenager. I started late Burning Crusade. Um, so I started when I was, I don't remember my age, like 15, 16 maybe, when I was first introduced to World of Warcraft. And I was so obsessed with it that I managed to become one of the server's best warlocks.
Okay.
In Wrath of the Lich King. So I remember people stopping me in the main cities, like inspecting my gear and be like, "Oh my god, can you please join me in a group? Can you join my raid group or dungeon group?" And everyone was looking up to me because of my gear.
And you find some friends on World of Warcraft?
I did find a lot of friends. Uh, some that I'm still friends with in real life, but that's I kind of like met them at the party, and then we just found out that he also plays on the same server as me, which was very strange back then because there's a lot of servers. So, I have like one guy that I played with back then a lot that I'm still friends with today. The rest just turned into creeps eventually. So, one even showed up, one from Romania. He even after I ditched him as a friend because he was coming to I don't know, clingy and creepy, giving me like bad vibes. Suddenly he just shows up at my fucking front door.
Okay.
So that's what it was like being a girl gaming back then. Like a random guy. I was 19, so a random guy from Romania when you have I was too young. I lived with my mom, so I didn't have any address in my name or anything like that. And there he is on my front fucking door, and I'm like, how the fuck did you find out where I live? And he asks me, can I sleep in your cellar tonight?
Okay, so scary.
I was, yeah, very creepy. And of course, he came on a weekend where my mom was away, so I was home alone. So that was super creepy. So
Uh,
I had to get a mate of mine to come pick me up. So I stayed the entire weekend with him and his friends. I was so creeped out.
Nah, I think players in WoW are really intelligent and they can find everything on other
Yeah,
places.
he was like one of the best PvP players on the server, so he had like very good technical skills in both game and PC in general. So he probably tracked my IP address or something. I'm very glad that I'm a software developer now, so I know how to secure myself. No one can find me now if they tried.
And is it Warcraft have to change your mind and maybe decide you to work on software computing?
No, that was actually Mass Effect. Mass Effect is my all-time favorite game ever since it
It
was
was
launched in
my
2000.
second question. Yeah.
Yeah, well, ever since it was launched in 2007, I've been obsessed with it, the whole trilogy. And they do have something called biotics in that game, which is basically bioinformatics, but in video game magical form. So I was like, AI and stuff like that, very interesting. I want to study this. So I did end up studying it.
And so Mass Effect is your favorite license of gaming? Why?
Yeah. It changed my life,
Okay.
and when it came out, it was revolutionary. It was the first game where you could build like a proper personal relationship with your crew that felt natural. It had like a natural build up, and you could romance, and your choices mattered with how your relationship with the different characters turned out, and your actions mattered. So like. Uh, if you, for example, skipped a side quest or something, it would impact the story, and also the choices you made in the first game transferred to the second game, and then that all of that transferred to the third game. So it was like very revolutionary RPG, and it's still one of the best RPGs in that type of genre to this day. Like no one has done it as good since. So probably, yeah, I got obsessed with the characters because you
Okay.
had like such a natural build up with them. It felt very natural, and you just automatically attached to them.
And you mentioned the first free game, the trilogy, not Mass Effect Andromeda.
I really liked Andromeda, but it came out so late, so I was already full-time working by then.
Okay, so you have
Yeah, but
less time to play it.
yeah, I have played it once throughout in like a half second time. I did enjoy it. People tend to compare it to the whole trilogy, which is obviously not going to make it live up to the standards because there's 3 games versus 1 game. But if you just compare it with the first game, I think it's a good start for a new trilogy. But it was trendy to hate on it, so it flopped.
And what did you read, or did you yeah, maybe other elements, other support of Mass Effect, maybe books or video, or did you follow other thing?
Yeah, I actually have I have the 2 books that's for Andromeda. They are really good. So if anyone's watching want to play Andromeda but haven't yet, they should read the prequel book before
Okay.
they do that because there's like a very there's I'm not gonna spoil anything, but there's like this character that everyone hates. But if you read that book first, you like kind of understand why she's acting the way she's
Okay.
acting, and
Okay.
you'll like kind of be like on her side in a way.
Yeah, I mean, maybe you can understand his feeling when you read the first book.
Yeah, you
Okay.
understand. You get like her whole backstory,
Yeah.
and you also get the backstory of the full journey from our galaxy and into Andromeda, and why the game starts out the way it does. So it's a very good book, very easy to read and very interesting. So I do recommend reading it before playing Andromeda.
Okay.
Uh, And I also have comics book from the original trilogy, but like there's like they're like side stories, so they're
Okay.
not directly story based from the games, but it's like just another story
Okay.
or like side characters stories.
It's not the
They're
same
also
thing, but
really fun.
they use the name of the license, but it's not the same story.
No, it's made by the same writers.
Okay.
So it's like it is Mass Effect in its core, but it's like you get more story around the side characters that you have quests with. For
Okay.
example,
It's
like
like
NPCs
it's like
that you don't bring with
AMC,
you.
The Walking Dead. You have the first show, and you have some spin-off again.
Yeah, it's kind of like a spin-off with the different characters that you
Okay.
meet.
Okay, nice. And what made you want to become a PlayStation ambassador in Norway?
I didn't even think it was possible, honestly.
Yeah.
So that kind of happened by chance. I just figured I wanna, like Instagram, I didn't know what to use it for, and I was like, I always liked photography, and then I was like, what if I combine photography with gaming? And then I started doing that, and at that time, because I was very early out, like almost no one else did it, so I just grew extremely fast because there weren't that many profiles that did that. So PlayStation always saw it, and they were just like, "Hi, do you want a Christmas gift?" That was around the time I had reached 10K, which was within a few months
Okay.
after starting. Um, and I was like, well, sure. And then I think they just like the way I created content around the Christmas gifts, because after that they were like, do you want to be PlayStation friends? And then I was PlayStation friends for I think a couple of years before they invited me into their office and officially asked me to be an ambassador.
Okay,
And then I've
nice.
been an ambassador since.
And what is your job when you are an ambassador?
It really depends. It's not really, I wouldn't say it's work or a job
Yeah.
as such. It's more like if there's a game that I'm interested in, I can request a code for it or something like that.
Okay.
And I will get a code, and then, of course, they expect me to make content about
Yeah.
that game in return. And it's also turning up to different events and basically just promote different things. For example, with the Gran Turismo movie that came out last year, we were invited to the pre-premiere and had like this full entire cinema just for ourselves for the premiere. And
Okay.
there was like stations put out where you could play GT and stuff like that. So my job then was to just attend and be like, "Hey, I'm at this movie. It's really good. Look it out, check it out." Well, I don't have to say if it's good if I don't like it myself. So they're like expecting me to be honest.
Okay.
But I did really enjoy the movie.
Yeah. Okay. And maybe there is a lot of player and of PlayStation in Norway. It's a big community.
Yeah, PlayStation is the biggest in Norway.
Okay.
Well, PC is probably very competitive. I don't actually know if PC or
Yeah.
PlayStation is
I
bigger,
think
but of
it's
the
not the same
consoles,
platform. Yes.
PlayStation, yeah. But of the consoles, PlayStation is the biggest. Then there's Nintendo and then Xbox at the end, I
Okay.
think.
Okay. And why you choose PlayStation? To share your content, not Xbox or Nintendo, because you have some more feeling on PlayStation.
I just I like the feeling better on PlayStation. I
Okay.
like their interface a lot better than on Xbox.
Oh yeah.
Xbox interface is super annoying. Microsoft interfaces in general suck. But I think it's mostly because I started out with a PlayStation 1 and I've had like every console in PlayStation, so it's just been like from childhood kind of transferred into my adult life.
So what's your first game in PlayStation 1?
I think my first game was Tekken 2.
Okay.
Yeah. And then Gran Turismo. But I remember mostly playing Crash Bandicoot
Yes.
and Rayman and those games.
Yeah. So
Fire of the
many
Dragon.
remember when you say this title.
Yeah.
Uh, and after that, you passed on PS2 and PS3.
Yeah.
If you retire Mass Effect, was is your best license on exclusive license on PlayStation?
Oh, that's a tough question because there's so many good ones.
I didn't say I
I
have
think
easy question.
no. I think my all-time favorite exclusive is Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yeah.
Because that was like a type of game where, first of all, I felt like the story and kind of concept was kind of new compared to other games. It was like kind of a new genre because it wasn't like fully fantasy, but it wasn't also fully sci-fi, and it was in a way, in a sense, kind of realistic because humans are fucking stupid, so that future isn't that far-fetched that we destroy ourselves with machines.
Yeah.
But I just loved everything about it, and I loved like running around in the world, picking up notes. I never read notes in games, like never. I don't read codexes. I don't read everything you pick up. I just leave it be. If there's a long note, I will just skip it entirely.
Yeah, some text maybe. I think it's so long to read it.
Exactly. But in Horizon Zero Dawn, I was so intrigued and so into the entire world. So I would read everything. I would literally run out just like I didn't even do side quests. I just ran around in the world looking for new notes to figure out what the fuck happened here. So,
And you like the second one?
mm,
Forbidden West
Yeah.
maybe was.
It was I really enjoyed it in the end, but like knowing how large it was because it was a lot bigger than the first one, and knowing that going in made it really hard to like get nabbed on. And you already knew like kind of the backstory and everything then, so you were known with the world around her. So it was hard getting as attached to that game as Zero Dawn. But it is a great game and has a
Yeah.
great story. I just think maybe Aloy could have uh, developed more throughout the story. I felt like she didn't have that much character development in that one. But I did really enjoy it. I just platinumed it actually.
Yeah. Oh yeah, nice. You got some platinum on your game?
Yeah,
You,
I do platinum the games if I really love them.
okay.
If I'm just like, oh, I enjoy this, but that's it, then I'm not gonna spend a lot of time getting the platinum unless it's super easy. If it's like very easy, then I'll maybe do it. Otherwise, no, it takes too much time.
Yeah, I'm agree with that because I love to get platinum to my game, but when you choose to get the platinum trophy, you have your backlog growing up. and,
Yeah,
and now
exactly.
I
So
have
you
a
have to
lot of
be selective.
yeah, a lot of
Yeah.
game to play it, and I don't want to choose what's my next game. And now you have PlayStation France say to me, hey, you want to play The Last of Us Part 2? Okay, nice. So my backlog, yeah. So,
Yeah. Yeah,
and
because I also have like this huge backlog and it's terrifying sometimes. So if I don't really love a game, I'm not gonna bother spending more time getting trophies. But like, for example, now I'm playing Hogwarts Legacy.
yeah.
The first time I tried it, I couldn't get into it, but this time I'm absolutely obsessed. So I'm not even following any side quests again. Now I'm just running around doing collectibles and stuff like that. And my boyfriend is like, no, you're surpassing me. You're gonna get platinum for me as well, because I'm not gonna bother with the collectibles. And I'm like, no.
So much collectible in Hogwarts Legacy. I think I leave the game when I try to do the Merlin. Um,
Merlin Trials?
yeah, and it was so annoying for me. And so I left the game. And you I think I'll find a lot of pages in the book flying in the sky.
Yeah.
I keep it, and when you are 100% of a place, you continue the game, and after that you discover a new place, and you have to find again maybe 20 or 30 page of books, and oh no, again. So
Yeah,
I
there's a
quit.
lot of that. But I've been running around so much just exploring, so I'm actually almost done with all Merlin trials.
Yeah.
I
Good luck.
I only have like 20 left.
Okay.
That's not that much considering how many there are. And yeah, because I was really annoyed with my bag space. So I was like, okay, how do I increase my bag space? Oh, I do Merlin trials. Okay. So I spent a full day just doing Merlin trials so that I could increase my bag space. Because ADHD, so I forget like what I'm doing, and then I just get sidetracked, and then my bags are constantly full because of all of my sidetracking. And then I get sidetracked again because I have to go and sell stuff all the time. So I was like, okay, no, this is not working out. I need more bag space.
And
I
what?
dedicated a full day just to get more bag space.
Okay. And what's the platinum trophy you are maybe much proud of it?
I don't know if I will get the platinum on this. It depends on how much I have left when I'm done with the story, I guess. But right now, I'm actually very close to finishing a lot of the collectibles. So I'm like, might as well do it. But we'll see. We'll see how I feel once the game is over.
Okay. Me, I'm proud to have the Elden Ring Platinum Trophy, and
Oh yeah.
maybe one day I can have the same thing to Demon Souls or Sekiro, but the game is
Wow.
so hard for me.
The only Souls type game I have platinum in is Nioh 2.
Okay, nice. It's
Mhm.
it's really nice because
Yeah, I love
Source
that
game is
game.
maybe not really easy. Like Returnal, you play Returnal?
I haven't played it yet. It's
Mm.
on my list. It's in my backlog.
I think it's the best game. It's for me my favorite game on PS5 now, and
Mhm.
yeah, I get the platinum trophy too, and I
Wow.
think I can play it wa- when I want because the game is so nice. You have some biome, you have some enemies. I hope I give you some envy to play it. But you have
We'll see.
when you die, the world change and the enemies are not the same piece by piece, and you find some collectibles, some weapons to beat some boss and some enemies, and you repeat again and again to be um, more aggressive and more killer enemies, and yeah, I think the story is not the principal thing. I think the story is not good, but
Okay.
the gameplay is really good.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna try it out, but I think I have to be in the right headspace because, ADHD and patience
Yeah,
do not go hand in hand. So I have to be in the right headspace, otherwise I will just rage, I think, when I play it. Like I did with um oh, what's it called? So I don't remember. Not Dark Souls, but the other one.
um,
Like of the two first types that came out.
hmm.
Soulborn.
Okay, Soulborn.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Soulborn. Like I've tried playing that so much, and my brother, he's like, but I can join you, I can help you. But by the time he suggests him helping me, I've raged so much. I would rather smash my controller and
yeah,
console and TV rather than having him help me. I'm like, fuck
yeah.
no.
Yes, it's type of game you have to contain your rage because I think you can broke the dual sense or dual shock or your TV.
Yeah, I
uh,
have rage issues, so really have to be in the right headspace before I play Souls-like games. It's a
and
it's a miracle that I got through Nio too, but it was because I really love the story. So like the story kept me on track. Otherwise, I would have like destroyed
yeah.
my house, I think.
I understand that. You said me your favorite license with Mass Effect, and do you explain why you are? What is your biggest disappointment of video games? You are rating a game during a few years, and when you play it, you are really disappointed.
I think like in terms of general disappointment, I was really disappointed with Hellblade. Like when I remember seeing the trailer and I was
Yeah,
like so excited because the entire atmosphere and the story and everything seemed so good. But the gameplay is some of the most boring gameplay I've ever played. I couldn't get into the story because the gameplay was so boring. I was like, oh my god, I've been playing this for 8 hours. It feels like 4 weeks or something.
yeah.
So I ended up never finishing it. Uh, it was so disappointing because I was so excited for it and it looked great, but it
Yeah,
wasn't.
you listen the voice around you. I think it's a great idea, but like you said, it's so long to continue, and you work again and again. You have nothing to do, but you have some
Yeah.
group of enemies come to
Yeah.
to
It was
beat
it
you,
was a
but
really yeah. It was a really good like concept, but very poorly executed for me. I know there's a lot of people who loves it, and that's okay, but the gameplay for me just ruined the entire experience.
and and more it's Norway, it's a Nordic
Yeah.
story, so
Yeah. I was so excited.
yeah, I know. I'm a really fan um, of Nordic story, and my biggest dream is live on your country, Norway, Sweden, or Finland, because I really like your type of thinking, your point of view, and some your cities, because I love it. And one day I hope I can stay it.
I'm crossing my fingers for you.
Yeah, no, me too, me too. But I'm not alone, and you have to decide together. So
Yeah.
it's not. Maybe I can find a job in Norway, because in my job I think speaking English, or I can learn Norvège or Sweden. It's not a problem. But my wife have a job, and she can't leave the job like that. So
Yeah.
maybe one day. Wait. How you sum up your 2023 years in video games? What you
With
like and what you didn't like in video games?
I didn't play as much as I wanted in 2023 because my
Okay.
life was a mess. So I didn't have that much time. But I played a lot of Power Wash Simulator.
Ah,
So I
yeah.
think that is my
It's so
highlight.
addictive, this game.
It really calmed me
Yeah.
down. I was expecting to hate it because ADHD and just doing something that is very repetitive. I was like, probably not. But then I watched Markiplier play it and I was like, okay, that looks super satisfying. So I tried it myself and I got obsessed.
And it's something you didn't do at your place, but you play you do this in video games.
Yes. uh, Power Wash Simulator was one of my highlights. I started the year with streaming, and I really wanted to continue doing that, but I was unable to because of something that happened. But now I want to get back into it, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna stream Power Wash Simulator again because that was like what I streamed the most.
and and did you play some new games this year? Is this January? Maybe Eldivers 2, which launched
I
today.
actually, yeah, I actually just downloaded Helldivers 2, so I'm probably gonna play it later today, unless I stream, because I might stream today instead. Then I'm gonna play a cozy game called Strange Horticulture. But yeah, Helldivers 2 is what I'm gonna play. I think the only new game, I don't know when it was released, so I'm not sure if it is a 2024 game, but I played a very cute game called Hua.
Okay.
It was very small, very short, very cozy. It's like this small indie game that I just found on PlayStation. I was like, okay, it looks pretty, so let's play it. So that was the first game I played, and I platinumed it. It took me one day.
And
One day to finish and platinum.
you told me you like horror games. So in 2023, you have Resident Evil 4 remake come, and this January, I think you have Silent Hill: The Short Message. Did you play that?
I haven't played it, but I'm very excited about it. I was so surprised when they announced it. I was like, "Oh, this is some Silent Hill stuff." I saw it immediately,
Yeah.
and then they was like, "Oh, this is a free-to-play game. It's a new game." I was like, "Wait, what?" I thought it was going to be one of the remakes that they have been rumors about last year. So I was like, "Oh, they're doing a remake of Silent Hill finally," and then it was a new game. I was like, "Oh, I need to play it."
And the remake of Resident Evil 4, you played it?
I played Silent Hill 1, 2, and 3.
Okay.
The originals.
Okay.
I don't think there's any remakes yet. But I don't know if I haven't been able to fully pay attention to games as of late, but they are gonna make a remake, but I don't know if it's out yet or if it's upcoming.
Okay. Maybe I made a mistake, because in English maybe it's not Resident Evil, it's Biohazard.
Biohazard,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, because in France it's not Biohazard. So I made a mistake. So you played Biohazard 4 remake last year?
Uh, no, I just watched it because I
Yeah,
was like, I don't really have time to play games
yeah.
I've already played in the
It's
past.
frustrating. You have no time.
Yeah. The same with the Last of Us Part 2. I'm not gonna replay it. I didn't replay the first game either because I mean I think they're really good games, but not good enough for me to replay when I have so many other games in my backlog.
Yeah,
And I've
I'm.
been really focusing on finishing Horizon Forbidden West because that was like the one game I tried finishing last year, and I just never couldn't.
The Last
So
of Us Part
finally done
2.
it.
I think he didn't report some new important news because the PS4 version is so beautiful and PS5 version I think is the same. But
Hmm.
you have the new mod called New Return. It's a roguelike, but I played it. I think I enjoyed it 30 minutes and after that it's the same again and again and again, and
Yeah.
I didn't enjoy this mod. And after that you can have some bonus with commentaries from developers with lost level, and you can have some message of the developer entire the whole game, but it's not um, it's not really nice, so interesting for me to pay for 10 euros more, or maybe 40 or 50 euros
Hmm.
to start with The Last of Us.
I agree.
But
And also, I remember when I was playing the second game that I really hated the gameplay. There was something about it that just, I think, I don't know if it was like input latency or whatever it was, but there was something with the gameplay in The Last of Us Part 2 that really pissed me off. So I played The Last of Us 1. I played that on like the hardest difficulty, no problems.
okay.
But I kept dying to stupid things because there was like a latency in part two, I mean, because there was like latency whenever she dodged. Sometimes she just wouldn't dodge at all if I clicked another button right after clicking dodge. So it was like there must have been some latency issues with the input on the controls there or something like that because I died so much. I was so pissed off. My boyfriend actually told me to turn down the difficulty because I was raiding so much, and he was like, "This is getting annoying to hear you explaining."
Yeah, instead in the PS when you play it with the PS4, I didn't you have the PS4 or the PS4 Pro, but my first PS4 I get in 2013 when I push The Last of Us and I played it. I think my PS4 become a rocket. They make some noise, some
Oh no.
and um, maybe it's the most important news on feature for the PS5 version, because my PS5 makes no new noise when I play The Last of Us Part 2. And that is really good.
Yeah, true. But I heard that the someone on Instagram told me that they have added some new content
Okay,
to part two, but still not worth it for me.
you
But I
mentioned,
get it for people who loves the games.
yeah,
I
yeah.
bet they will love the new content and everything.
And did you like the series, the TV show?
I love the TV show.
Yeah.
It's actually very good. I was very happy with the way they went with it and how true to the games they were.
Okay.
So, and I really enjoy the actors. They did a great job.
Yeah.
So,
Pedro Pascal and Bella Ramsey is
yeah,
a good actor.
great job.
Yeah, yeah. I like Bella, and I discovering herself in Game of Thrones, and
Same.
maybe she was 13 or 12 years old when she played the queen of or the Little Snow. Oh no, it's not Snow. It's
I don't remember
I
her
don't
name.
remember his family, but when she plays this character, I was so impressed because it's a small girl and she talked
Yeah.
with a man like a chief, and I think it's a good character for Ellie, because Ellie is so rebel.
I agree.
Yeah.
And she did a good job. She portrays her perfectly.
Yeah, yeah. And you mentioned a lot of time your boyfriend, so you play some time together. I know.
Yeah, the first game we played together was Borderlands,
Yeah.
because I hadn't played it before. So he was like, "You haven't? You have to." And I was actually sure I was gonna hate it. I had like looked at the game before and was like, "Nah, I don't think that's for me," and I just like shelved it. But he was like, "No, you have to play it." So I was like, "Okay, I can try." But I ended up loving it. It's one of my favorite game series. The humor is spot on.
Yeah, it's so fun, and you can beat everything you find, and but
Yeah,
it's a lot of joke with claptrap and other
yeah. The
character.
whole game is just
Yeah,
not serious at all, and I like that.
yeah. I'm agree. And would you like to see a remake of a game you like when you are a child, and you want a remake? Maybe now you are growing up.
I think I would love a remake of Metal Gear Solid
I
1.
oh okay. I think Kojima announced a spy game, maybe.
Yes, hoping. But yeah, no, I just love the Metal Gear Solid series. Um, but I mean, one currently now is unplayable because, we're used to a lot better controls and graphics. I don't care that much for graphics, but it's a great bonus. But the controls in Metal Gear Solid 1 is impossible.
Yeah.
I tried playing it on, I think, yeah, it was in the when PlayStation had this PlayStation Now thing. You could get like Metal Gear Solid 1 in that cloud system that they had. So
Yeah.
I tried playing it again, and I couldn't even get past the first stage. I was like, how the fuck do I get out of the water?
They launch a new trilogy, a remaster trilogy on PS5 and now, and Nintendo Switch.
Mm,
Maybe you can have some new controller to continue and to get out the water.
yeah, maybe.
Maybe. um, mm, the life is not video games. You have other passions.
I'm very passionate about nature, so I love hiking in the mountains and do stuff like that. I also like overlanding, which is like when you drive out in
Okay.
nature with a car and camp.
Oh, nice.
Um, yeah, it's very nice. And I also do archery. I haven't done it in a while now, but I do really love it. I also play the clarinet, which
Yeah.
I've recently taken back up. I do a lot of stuff because ADHD, so I'm passionate about pretty much almost everything.
And
It's
you
very
play clarinet
tiring.
in a group or just a solo?
I used to play in a group, but right now it's just solo because the only available group near me is just a bunch of old people, and they don't have wooden instruments. They only have like I don't remember the English word, but like metal instruments, kind of.
Okay.
So they want me to play the saxophone instead, and I'm like, no, I want to play the clarinet because it sounds pretty. The saxophone sounds jazzy, and I don't like jazz.
Okay. So you like
So
metal music and maybe classic if you play clarinet.
yeah, I actually love classical music. I think my favorite composer is Grieg, but
Okay.
I also really love. I don't know how to pronounce his name. It's one of the famous Russian composers
Okay.
from all time. Impossible to say his name.
And did you like video game music?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things with the marching band that I was playing with was that our leader, he was very open to suggestions and music. So we played a lot of Lord of the Rings music, all
Okay.
of the themes. We played Harry Potter music, all of the themes, and we played video game music, and I loved it.
Yes, I have some. I think I have the collector vinyl of Elden Ring and
Oh,
the Lord of the
thanks.
Ring and Harry Potter, and I have also two Star Wars too, and
Yeah,
I
Star Wars. We also played that actually.
yeah you
Oh,
you,
but
you
the music to those are so great, and I love like being in the center of where the music is coming from when you are playing video game music or TV show music that you really like, stuff like that.
And maybe
Very nice.
you have something like that in Norway, but me in France we have some theater. We can stay on your couch and you see a concert and you can watch a movie with a real concert.
Oh,
And
uh, we don't have that. But we do have like real life orchestra concerts. So
okay,
we actually had last year. We had like this. There's I think it's a Swedish orchestra that travels tours basically around and playing. They play music from video games and from from popular TV or movie series. So last year it was Star Wars,
okay,
and my boyfriend, he actually brought me, that was not that orchestra, that was a different orchestra, but he surprised me one day with the year we started dating. He surprised me by just taking me down to the culture house that we call it in Norway when we live in a small place. So we don't like, we call it a culture place, small places that just does everything with concerts and culture based activities. So he took me down there and I was like, what is this? And we go into a room and I see a full orchestra on the stage and I was like, what is this? And then I get like the pamphlet that says what type of music it was, and it was just tons of different game music from different types of games. And I was like, oh, so great. So, like watching this live in such a small room. Oh, it was amazing.
okay. You mentioned the metal music, and I think I can watch on your neck. You have some stuff of metal now.
Yes.
What's your favorite bands of metal?
My favorite metal band is called Eluvati,
Okay,
and they're from Switzerland, and they
okay,
play folk metal.
okay,
So they play like Swiss folk music with a metal twist.
okay. Nice.
It's amazing.
I will discover it because I don't know them. I I watch. I love metal music, but maybe
Mm.
I didn't know some group because really like some music like Rammstein or um what's his name, Epica and
Mhm.
Nightwish and
Yeah,
more. Maybe you
I
know.
think you're gonna like. I think you're gonna like
Yeah.
Eluvati actually, since you like Epica. It's kind of like
Yeah.
in the same, but very different. But I think you will like it.
Okay. Nice.
I
Nice.
will I will write the name out for you afterwards. So
Okay. I will. W- have you some projects you want to discuss, and maybe your project for your Instagram or for your live or for your Twitch channel?
I don't have like one ongoing project right now, but I can share that I have set myself a project of just Instagram in general because last year was a bad year as I said, so I didn't do much content then. So like I've written down a list of tasks and stuff that I can do to prepare myself better for this year so I can make better content and be more active with content and upgrade it kind of in a bit and do more collaborations and stuff like that. And I hope to do some more fun stuff this year with my Instagram and
Okay.
stuff like that. Yeah.
And what is the main thing you want to launch on Instagram?
That's kind of hard. I just wanted to represent me more than it currently does, because right now it's very like just pure gaming and then no personality kind of. It's just become that over time. So I wanted to be more myself. So I'm gonna try to make a few reels, for example, that introduce me a little more, so people can see actually who I am and what I'm like. And I'll also start streaming again, like I was just saying earlier. I was actually group pressured into streaming by my Instagram followers. Like I remember when I had 20K followers, I was like, nah, I'll never stream. I'll only stream if I ever reach 50K followers, because I was like, that's not gonna happen. And then it happened, and so many followers was like, you promised this when you were at 20K, so now you have to. And I was like, fuck. Before that, I was like, I'm never gonna stream. That's so uncomfortable.
You didn't
But it wasn't actually as hard
you
as I
didn't
thought.
like stream or show yourself?
I was struggling with social anxiety, I think, before, and it just made me naturally shy. But I'm actually not really that shy when I don't care. So I just, by the time I started streaming, I was already at the headspace where I don't really care what people think of me, because the ones that matters will like me anyway. So who cares about the rest, right?
Yeah.
So after that, it was a lot easier to just stream and be myself, and yeah.
Yeah, I cross my hand.
But it was very weird, like,
Yeah.
because I have a lot of faces. Like, people tell me, like, you look fucking insane right now, because I forget to blink and I open my eyes wide open and I'm like into the screen.
Yeah, I think it's weird because sometime I launch a stream on YouTube, and when you are alone to play a game, you have to animate your game. You have to talk about the game, but you are alone. You have no question. You have no answer to give, and
Yeah,
sometimes it's
it
so weird.
it feels really weird, especially if your chat is silent. You're like, okay, what am I gonna talk about now?
Yes.
Especially if it's like a slow game, so it's very hard to do like commentary. For example, during Power Wash Simulator, there's it's very hard to do commentary on that.
Yeah, and when you play a multiplayer game, it's so hard to read the chat and follow the game. So,
Yeah, I
but
don't play that much multiplayer games, so that's not gonna be a problem when I stream. But I also have this problem that if I stream, I struggle to follow the story of the game I'm playing, because I'm so distracted by chat and by everything's going on with the stream, and like distracted by streaming itself. So uh, it makes it hard also to like choose what games, because if it's a game I love and that I really want to focus on, I can't stream it then, because then I will just miss the full game
yeah,
while playing.
yeah. Some game is so long to play and to stream it. So I think it's important to change a little bit game when you stream.
Yeah,
It's a job. It's a new job.
it is. It is.
Um, I have two more questions, my last two questions, and one of them is what is your advice if someone comes to you and asks to you to how start on Instagram, or how start on social media, or in on streaming, to become and to have the best community, or maybe what is your best and advice you can give them?
If you want to get in a very healthy gaming community on Instagram, I recommend the cozy gaming hashtag. They are very much it's a lot of like just indie games or relaxing games, and a lot of like very cozy atmospheric offices and setups and stuff like that. That is what you will mostly see. But it's the coziest side of Instagram gaming, because the gaming community on Instagram can be very toxic. I
Yeah.
see I don't engage in drama, so I just don't care. Like, so I'm usually not a part of it, but I do see a lot of stories with the gaming community that there's like I can see if I follow two different people, I can see that they're in a fight because like they're literally fighting on their stories and like bashing each other on the stories. So that happens a lot, but I've never seen that in the cozy gaming community. And I think that might be because it's more female heavy. So, because a lot of the conflicts that I see that is happening on Instagram is a male bashing another female or a male bashing another male because they do something they disagree with or are just you're a fake gamer or whatever the fuck, stuff like that.
Okay.
Or harassment. And that usually stems from men. I'm sorry, men, but it's true.
Okay. And
And but if you want to be in the gaming community, I advise to first do your research on what type of gaming content you want to make. Like research different communities like cozy gaming, PlayStation community, or setup community, stuff like that. What do you wanna post yourself, and then get a lot find accounts that you find aesthetically pleasing, so that they can be an inspiration to you, and then just go from there.
okay, and your community, and when you launch you on Instagram, did you have some toxic message coming to you?
Oh yeah, I've had tons of toxic
Oh
messages,
no.
but I just ignore them. I
Okay.
just an instant delete message. I don't even bother to engage. Not worth of my energy.
Yeah, you are right. But I think some people launch on Instagram take more maybe more it's for them it's important to read each message, and if it's a toxic message, I think it's broke his mind, and it's more complicated, and sometimes you can stop your activity.
Yeah,
You're sick after that, because some people can really toxic, and some ones can do maybe for example, I take a screen of your head with your flat, and some people can find your way, find your flat, your address, share it, and I think it's really toxic for communities, because I didn't see the same thing on music and movie and other medium. It's really on the video games, and I think it's too bad.
yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of know-it-alls out there. Like, I've literally been bashed for gaming wrong. Like,
Mm.
is there really a wrong way to game? No, it's something you do for yourself to have enjoyment. However, you do that is up to you. Like,
Yeah.
everyone's different. But still, I've been bashed for not being a real gamer because I don't game right. And I've been like, wow.
Yeah, some people are
I'm
so
also
crazy.
told that, yeah, I'm also told that I'm a fake gamer because if I was real, I wouldn't showcase it this much on Instagram. And I'm like, why would I spend this much money and energy on a hobby that I don't do? I don't understand why people would think that if I wanted attention, I could just undress
Yeah.
and just post me naked. I didn't have to get all of this stuff.
Yeah, yes.
I could just do something easier.
You can create an
Um,
OnlyFans, and you can some a lot of money.
Exactly. I
Yeah.
don't have to fake it with the games to get out there or whatever they're thinking. I don't know.
Okay, thank you. And my last question, I ask the question of a lot of my people comes to me of interview in interview, and if you can share with me and ask people to come to made an interview with me, maybe a person who like video games, who likes technology, wants to discuss with me, and maybe I can share share his profile. Maybe you can, I can find a new person, interesting person. Have you a name
I'm very bad with names, so I don't
Yeah.
really remember their
or a
handles.
nickname?
But I do have a few people in mind. I can send them to you. I think that would be easier.
Yeah, okay. So you can send me on Instagram and you can discuss them.
Yeah.
Okay. Really nice. I'm really happy to discuss with you, and it was a great moment. I hope you passed a great moment with me too.
Yes, it was fun.
Thank you. Thank you for your time, and you can just have your moment to have your had. What's your when I where we can find you?
We can mostly find me on Instagram. That's where I'm the most. My handle there is Kadust Universe in one word,
Okay.
written straight out with a K, not a C, with a K. And on Twitch, I'm just Kadust.
Okay, with a K
Yeah.
too.
With a K too.
Okay,
I've
just
seen some people write it with CH, and I'm like, no.
just in Instagram and Twitch. You don't have
Yes.
a Twitter or X or other.
No, I think it's too much.
Yeah.
I don't want to be obsessed with social media. I do like having free time outside of social media, so I just stick to two platforms.
Yeah.
One for streaming and one for content.
Okay, okay. I think it's a great advice too, because I think
It is.
I think I
Don't get
try
overwhelmed.
I try a lot of social media, and X of old Twitter is the most toxic platform I never see.
Oh yeah, I'm glad I never got Twitter. I'm not gonna get Threads either.
Yeah, I'm on it because I share my content and I share my news on my website. So I have to continue to share it because my community is on X, and my community on Instagram likes more my pick of my vinyl, my new collection, my game, and
Yeah.
it's not the same thing. So I
No.
have to keep the both, but maybe I will quit X. It's yeah, one day I hope. So thank you very much for your time. I wish you a great day. I wish you a great life with Andy. Hope
you.
you will see more time after that, and we keep contact to discuss about PlayStation and more. If you like gaming, if you like my video, not just you, Kadust, but if you like my content, you can share it, subscribe it, and you can follow myself on X, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. Thank you very much, Kadust, and have a great day.
Have a great day, Sval.
Bye.
Bye.